This is the Human Touch WholeBody 5.1 Full Body Massage Chair Recliner. If you're thinking about picking one up, I just want to walk you through my experience, what it's like to live with, and the stuff I noticed after using it as an everyday chair, and not just a try-it-once kind of thing. At its core, this is a recliner that also happens to massage your back, calves, and feet. It's for someone who wants consistent, repeatable relief at home without making a room look like a clinic or an arcade machine. If you're expecting the chair to replace a full-body, deep tissue session from a strong massage therapist, it won't. If what you want is something you'll actually keep in your living room, sit in daily, and use for 10 to 15 minutes at a time to take the edge off your neck, mid-back, and low back tension, it fits that role pretty well. The thing that makes it feel different from a lot of roller-style chairs is the way the rollers move across your back. Instead of that sharp, pokey, too hard knobs feeling that can catch your shirt or pinch skin, this one feels more like a smoother pressure that travels. It's not silent, but it's not a grinding mechanical sound either. I can have a normal volume TV on and still use it without feeling like the chair is taking over the room. Design-wise, it looks like a regular recliner from across the room. The sides are open, and it doesn't have that enclosed capsule shape, which matters more than I thought it would. In a living room, that open look makes it easier to accept as a real chair, not a dedicated gadget. The bone color in particular reads more like furniture and less like equipment, and it doesn't visually shrink the room the way a big black massage chair can. The upholstery feels like a leather substitute, smooth, slightly grippy when you first sit down, easy to wipe clean. I've already had to do the quick damp cloth cleanup after snacks, and it didn't stain or absorb anything. Comfort when you're not massaging is a big deal, because a lot of massage chairs are only comfortable during the massage. Here, the seat is on the firmer side. I don't mind it for short lounging, reading, or watching something. If I sit for a long stretch, I sometimes toss a thin pillow under me, mostly because I'm using it like a normal recliner. The backrest cushion feels supportive, and there's a neck pillow that helps if you line it up right. If you're taller, you'll notice you have to adjust yourself a bit so the rollers hit where you want them. There's no automatic body scan happening, so you're the one doing the aligning. One practical thing I ended up using more than expected is the swivel base. It turns enough that I can angle it toward the TV and then rotate back toward the room without dragging the chair. If you've ever tried to reposition a heavy chair on a rug, you already know why that matters. The recline and the leg rest also move separately, and in real use that's helpful, because sometimes I want my legs up without leaning all the way back, and other times I want to recline more but keep my legs at a different angle. The foot and calf part is built into an Ottoman that pulls out, and when you don't want it, you can tuck it away so the chair just looks like a normal recliner with a footrest. That hiding the massager idea sounds small, but day to day, it's the difference between something that feels like it belongs in a living room and something that always looks busy. When the calf massage is on, it does this upward cycling motion. For me, that's the part I use most on days when I've been on my feet a lot. After a long walk or standing at a desk, my calves tend to feel tight and a little swollen, and this helps in a way that's noticeable within a session. It's not the same as compression boots, and it's not trying to crush your legs. It's more like steady movement and pressure that encourages your legs to relax. Using it is mostly remote-driven. The remote is tethered to the chair, which I actually appreciate because I'm the type of person who loses remotes between cushions. The buttons took me a couple sessions to memorize. The icons aren't huge, and in a dim room, I sometimes have to tilt it toward a lamp to hit the right control. Once you understand it, the basics are simple. You pick an automatic program for upper, lower, or full back, or you go manual and place the rollers where you want them. In real use, I keep coming back to the target and hold style controls. There are days where my upper back is tight in one specific spot from sitting at a computer, and I don't want a full routine. I just want the chair to work that area, while I breathe and let my shoulders drop. Being able to stop the rollers at a point and keep pressure there is one of the more useful features because it feels closer to what I ask for in an actual massage. Stay right there for a minute. I also like that I can limit how high or low the rollers travel because some days I don't want it climbing into my neck, and other days my mid-back is the priority. The massage itself has a few different feels. The gliding motion is the one that feels the smoothest and least irritating through clothing. The more stationary techniques are better when I want a stronger, more localized sensation, but it can also feel a little intense if I'm already sore. I learned pretty quickly that thin clothing makes a difference. In a hoodie, I lose a lot of the detail. In a t-shirt, it's more effective, and I don't have to run it as long. A session length of around 15 minutes is what I naturally fall into with this chair. And it also stops on its own, which is helpful because I've had it put me in that relaxed state where I'm not paying attention to time. After it shuts off, it's not like you're stuck there, but I do use the return function to bring it back upright because it's just easier to stand up from a normal seated position. Now, a couple things I wish were different. The rollers don't really reach as low as I'd like for glutes and the very top of the hamstrings. If that's where you carry tension, you'll probably find yourself scooting down and trying to cheat the position, and it only helps a little. Also, I can't just dial massage intensity up and down in a simple way, like some systems that let you choose a clear, light to strong scale. You're mostly choosing modes and positioning, and your body placement becomes part of the intensity control. I also wish the remote were backlit. That's a small quality of life thing, but it comes up more than you'd think in a living room at night. Something else to be aware of is the chair's weight. It's not impossible to move, but it's heavy enough that I wouldn't plan on relocating it around the house constantly. Once you find its spot, it's a leave it there kind of piece. The upside is, it feels stable while it's working. Nothing about it feels flimsy when the massage mechanism is moving, and the recline motors feel controlled rather than jerky. On setup, this was basically a non-event for me in the sense that I didn't have to do a long assembly process. It's more about getting it placed where you want it and making sure you have enough clearance when it reclines. In my room, I was able to keep it fairly close to the wall and still recline comfortably, which matters if you're working with a smaller space. One thing I need to address, because it comes up with a lot of tech products. There's no mobile app to learn here, and there aren't smart features that change how I use it. Honestly, I'm fine with that. When I'm using a massage chair, I want it to be reliable and quick. Sit down, pick a routine, adjust a couple things, done. I don't want firmware, pairing, or notifications. If you're someone who wants app control and profiles and data tracking, you won't get that here. If you're someone who wants a physical remote that works the same way every time, that's exactly what this is. So how does it perform when it becomes part of your routine? For me, it's most useful in two scenarios. One is after work, when my shoulders and mid-back feel tight from sitting, and I want to transition out of that still-in-work mode posture. The other is after I've been walking a lot, when my calves feel loaded. In both cases, the chair helps me relax enough that I'm not carrying that tension into the rest of the night. I also notice it's easier to be consistent with it because it doesn't look like a dedicated machine. It's already there, and it's comfortable even when it's off, so I naturally end up using it more. Overall, I think this chair makes sense for someone who wants a massage they'll actually use regularly, who cares about how the chair looks in a normal room, and who values back and leg relief more than having a long checklist of features. The main limitations are the lower body roller reach, the learning curve on the remote in low light, and the fact that intensity control is more indirect than some people might want. If those are deal breakers, it's a chair I can see fitting into normal life without becoming a weird, neglected corner gadget. I will update specific information about the Human Touch WholeBody 5.1 full body massage chair recliner in the comments.